I don't know if you can see that, if the camera picks that up, but the rain's getting heavy. Also the good and the bad, and this is definitely the bad, but welcome back to another episode of Invercarmy Weekly. Just thought I'd show you the contents of the vans this week. There's about maybe 40-45 crates in here, along with some pails for the bigger orders. Most of the crates going to the doorsteps, along with a few shop orders as well. I'll also be back down this evening because I'll be putting the meal kits in the vans because it's Wednesday night. So anyone in the Turriff route or the Banff route will be getting meal kits delivered along with their milk, who's ordered them obviously. So I'll probably be back down after I've done the routing, probably about 11 o'clock at night. I'll get them put in each van, get them all counted out, get them put in the van, and then I'll get back to bed. So, no, I just thought I'd show you the contents of the van anyway. I thought it'd be quite interesting maybe for anyone that wonders what we do and how we load the vans and stuff like that. So, obviously the bulk of the bulk is the green milk that goes out, then blue, which is whole, and then the red. We don't sell massive amounts of red, but it's just something else we offer that a lot of people don't. So that's the contents of the van. That's Chris's van. Danny's parked in front. It's similar quantity in there as well. And there's a third van down at the bottom of the close down there, which you probably can't see. It's so dark. There's a third one plugged in down there, refrigerated as well. So as I've said previously before, all our milk's refrigerated in the vans, delivered to your doorstep at 2 degrees or thereabouts. So that's something that we really take seriously. I wouldn't like to be putting milk out, especially in the summer months, without refrigeration. So these are actually 2 new vans Chris and Danny's got, so quite chuffed for them so far. So all is good in the world just now van-wise at Invercarmy. So as I said to you, apologies it's quite dark, but that is the contents of the van going out tonight. Speaking of meal kits, me and my sister often share them. She's just cooked one just now, so just a way to enjoy this after work. Welcome back, it's Sunday and I've got a little helper with me today. Say hello, Owen. So the girls got on well in the shed this morning, so it's early afternoon. That is me just leaving the farm. I am now away to Afford and Fraserburgh to do deliveries. So a little help. I'm not sure how long you'll stay awake, but that's us just leaving the farm now. So I'll try and get some footage of me dropping off some of the milk today. See how it goes. Normally takes roughly 3 to 4 hours to do the 2 drops, so we'll see how we get on. Well, that lasted long. Not even out of 5-y, and that's him sleeping already. It's Tuesday and Andrew has just cut this field. It's not a very nice day, it's starting to rain, and historically my belt baler has not been very good in the rain. It's not ideal conditions, but I am back in the shed tomorrow. So what I'm trying to do is get this second cut baled. Just cut one field, but I can feel the rain getting heavier, so I really need to get going and see if it's going to bale it. It was kind of forecast to dry up in the afternoon, but it hasn't really happened. So this field hasn't had any fertiliser since the first cut, so it did shoot a little bit, but there was some quite nice fresh grass underneath, so it might be a mixture, but it's probably not the best silage in the world, but it's just to keep the young stock going during the winter, so can supplement them with other stuff, but this is going to probably form the base of their diet. But I don't know if you can see that, if the camera picks that up, but The rain's getting heavy. Right, I'll try and see how I get on. But as I said, the belts on my baler historically slip quite badly when the baler, when the grass is quite wet, so this might be a disaster. But we'll see how we get on. I really want to get this baled today, but I'm worried that the wrapper's not going to wrap it. The swaths are so small because it's such a small crop. The baler's not making a tidy job at all, with a really heavy shower of rain as well, which doesn't help things. I think maybe I might have to get it rowed up. Potentially go and borrow a rake for someone and get it rowed up, because the wide pickup just does not make a good tidy job with the bales unless there's a decent amount of quantity going in evenly. And that's only going to cover like a third of the pickup, that swath really. Or even like a half of the intake, and that's really not going to, I don't think, no matter what I do, it's not going to make a tidy bale. I feel, and I wouldn't worry so much if the wrapper would definitely wrap them, but the baler's tightened up as much as it can, and that is not overly tight bale, although it's wetter than it would like it to be. But it just, I'm kind of under pressure a little bit because I need to get this silage done. And I'm in the shed tomorrow and the next day as well, so I can't go to it then. So I was hoping to get this field done today, and then we'll go to it again on Friday. I'm not sure what the weather's to do, but it's just, I was really hoping to get this baled today and wrapped, and that's one field done, and then there's another 3 to do. But I knew it wasn't a big crop. I knew it wasn't going to be a big crop, but like, there's some bales worse than others. Round the outside's the smallest swath because it's not a full swath, and some of the bales in that are just, I don't think it'll wrap. It's just, I'm just making a mess really. Probably embarrassing myself putting this on YouTube, to be honest with you, but I kind of like to be transparent as possible, so the good and the bad, and this is definitely the bad, but it's just really frustrating seeing the shape of the bales. I think I'm going to have to stop and I'm going to have to review things. So either go and get something to rake it in, or I just stop for the day and hope that it gets better. I just don't like it lying that long either. It's going to have to lie till Friday at least. And as I said, if it gets bad weather and it gets really, really wet, my baler might struggle to bale it. Yeah, I'm stopping. Definitely stopping. Look at the state of this. You would think I'd ran up and down there 10 times. That's me just baling here. And it's made a bloody absolute mess. Pretty disgusted, really, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. I shouldn't have really started, to be honest, but I was that anxious to get it done. And then literally, when Andrew cut it, he got it relatively decent. It was to be dry the rest of the afternoon, and when I was hitching the baler up, it started raining. Just before it started, there was a relatively heavy shower for 10 minutes, and that just kind of knackered it. I'm not sure if it's, I kind of feel like it's a bit of both, though, as I said earlier. Like, I feel like the swath being quite small is not ideal, and then also it being wet is even less ideal. So the bales just aren't packing at all. There's some slightly tidier bales. I mean, that's by no means tidy, I wouldn't say, but these two here, again, they'll easily wrap. I've no doubts they'll wrap, no bother. As long as they wrap, then they'll keep, and we'll get feed use out of them. But there's just some bales that are just a complete mess, and I feel like I'm just wasting my time and embarrassing myself here, really, to be honest. I shouldn't really be here, but as I said, it's just like, really want to get one field done. It was supposed to be dry this afternoon, but that's just never materialised, so I think we'll have to give it a miss. Dad and Andrew are hopefully going to gather these in and hopefully get them wrapped. Hopefully they'll wrap, as I say, because if they wrap, they'll keep. If not, maybe the cows will get one of the untidy ones tonight, because it will heat and go off if it's not used, if we can't get it wrapped. Obviously it ferments if it gets wrapped, but if it doesn't get wrapped and it gets kept in the heat, if it just gets kept in the bale and it doesn't wrap, it will heat and go off. So we really need to get it used if they're not going to wrap. But I've only got about 8 bales done. More bales than I thought I would have had from what I've done 2 rounds, but well, basically the bales aren't as firm as they should be. Even though the baler is set to do as tight as it can, the bales aren't as tight, because I shouldn't be able to put my hands in like that. Like, it should be as firm. It's just not packing it at all. I think that's, as I said, down to the bout. It's not filling the pickup and it's not packing it in. You'd think it'd move across and settle itself and even it settle out, but it's not, so pretty disappointing. But I think that's me for the day. Hopefully get back to it at the end of the week if Andrew and Dad don't get back before it, but what can you do? It's a weather, it's a time of the year. We've left it, to be honest, the silage has actually deteriorated a little bit because we actually got a month or 6 weeks ago, we got a really dry spell, 2-3 weeks, and that really ruined the crop, really. That, and we, as I said before, we risked not putting any fertiliser on, so it's a smaller crop, which we expected, and that 3-week dry spell really ruined the crop, really. It came to seed quicker, not having fertiliser, it came to seed quicker, and the long stuff was really quite short, but there was, I'll get it in video when we cut the next field. Before we cut it, I'll show you what I mean, but it was freshening up below, there was fresh stuff coming through, so it was mixing up, and it was probably going to be okay if I got it in a decent bale, but yeah, it's a write-off, so we'll leave it there today, I think. So we looked to have got away with wrapping. You can see how square edged most of those bales are there. These are the ones I did today. Look how rounded they are, like that one in particular. This is the worst one, but it did wrap, thankfully. So it's sealed, it should be all good. Andrew's just doing, there's another 3 to go, just to wrap, and then that'll be us until probably Friday, I would imagine, unless it really clears up, but it's supposed to be really wet tomorrow, so unfortunately this is going to lie for a few days probably, and then we'll reevaluate. I'm thinking we might get it rowed up. If we cut a few fields on the Friday, get it rowed up and get it baled either Friday or Saturday, hopefully we'll get caught up. It's just a little bit frustrating, but what can you do? Can't really do much about it, but the main thing is those 8 bales are wrapped, so they'll become good silage. Well, I'm not saying it'll be good silage, but it'll be 8 bales to use anyway. Won't go to waste, put it that way. That's all I've had time for to record this week, guys. But I'll leave you with 2 cows in the calving pen. So the white one's actually about 3 weeks past her time if she's calving to the correct date, and the other one's about a week past her time, so they should be calving anytime soon. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you next week.